This is truly a huge honor for me. Seriously, thank you so much for your time, sir. Oftentimes, whenever a filmmaker has ambiguous aspects to a story in their film, they don't want to over explain or answer questions to the audience. Oftentimes, I've been told, like, I kind of want the audience to figure it out for themselves. But I'm sort of curious, whenever you have an actor on the set, do you feel obligated to explain it to them? If they come to you and say, like, I don't understand this and I need you to explain it to me, do you then feel obligated to explain the ambiguities?
No, no, not at all. I mean, we kind of cultivated a sort of environment of confusion on this film. It was actually very important to me that the actors at all times had no idea what was going on. So even when they did come up to me and they did ask for an explanation, I would see that as a failure on their behalf. And what I would do instead would then explain it to them, but in Chinese. And then what we did on set was we kind of had control over everyone's phone. So we actually changed the Google Translate that they were using so that when they did, because they would transcribe what I said in Chinese, they'd put it through the Google Translate, it would say something completely different. So then what they're actually responding to when they're acting, what they think it's about, is completely not what it's about. And that's actually become a bit of an industry standard now, this confusion state.
For sure, for sure. I had the pleasure. Netflix was kind enough to give me the link to this early enough so that I could watch it twice. And the second viewing of this was almost like watching a completely different films, because I knew certain things that I wanted to look for. There were things I wanted to listen to closer. I'm sort of curious, whenever you are writing and directing a film, to what degree are you focused on our first viewing of it? And to what degree are you focused on subsequent viewings, things that we might catch that second, third, or fourth time around?
Well, it's really is a case, and especially with this film, that those subsequent viewings were far more important. We actually did a lot of research to see what people would pick up on what at what time, and what we found was first viewing, waste of time. Don't even bother with the first viewing. Skip to like viewing number 3 or 4, which is when people would pick up on things a bit more subtly. Like what we were saying about the Trump administration and sort of post-sexuality and architecture.
It's brilliant how many different levels it worked on. There are so many moments in not just this film, but so many of your films where I might let out an audible response. Whether it's just like, "Oh my God," or like what is going on, or what, even if it's an expletive or whatever the case may be. Whenever you're writing particular moments, do you write them knowing what our reactions to something that is unfamiliar is going to be?
No, not really. No. Next question, please.
For sure. And as we wrap up, I've always kind of wanted to ask this question. I know it's probably a variation of a stupid question that you've been asked before, but being John Malkovich, I think it's a masterpiece. And I had read some rumors online, and you never know if they're true or not, that for a long time studios were trying to get you to make it Tom Cruise rather than John Malkovich. And I was curious as to whether or not that was actually true.
I think I was 3 when that film came out, so I really had no say in the casting process, I'm afraid.
That's so interesting. See, that's the beautiful thing about being able to talk to your cinematic heroes, because then you get to clarify stuff like that. Seriously, this was genuinely an honor. I've been nervous all day before I got the chance to talk to you, but seriously, thank you for taking the time to do it. I really do appreciate it. Truly an honor. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Bye, guys.